Okay, Ashton, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your Polo. Let's see what they are. 1117, size 56, color 9038. It's a matte black with the red stripe, and you got the Polo rider right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is make two level marks. So essentially that gives me a 180 line. I trace the PD of the frame. I am getting 73. Let me write that down. 73. I'm going to come back later. That's actually a 56 eye size. 56. 56. Okay, let me pull this out. Put it on my little tracing element that I use for all my rimless frames. Pull that off. Get the shape of your lens lined up perfectly on the 180 line behind it. That's why I put the two red dots there. That's lined up straight. Now let's trace. In other videos you've seen me trace the frame, but when there's a string there is nothing to trace. So I'm going to trace the shape of your lens. Excuse me. This whole process will take about 15 minutes. It's now 8:01 on Wednesday, March 12th, 64 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. At least according to my Samsung Gear watch. So I'm pulling this up. I'm going to put the width of your frame, which is 73 millimeters. Your pupillary distance is 69. Ooh, hang on, I blew it. Bring it down 79. Come down here and we'll do 69. And this is a polycarbonate lens that I'm cutting on the soft cycle because of your anti-glare lenses. And this is a rimless frame. I'm going to cut this 1/4 millimeter large so it fits nice and snug inside the string. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get your right lens, which reads plus 75 minus 75 at 147. I'm going to spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer to 147. Set the power wheel to plus 75. Put the lens in, rotate it until the optical center comes in clear with the sphere powers. I check your astigmatism correction. And then I put a couple dots on the lenses. I'm going to darken these so you can see them later. And I'm going to put a right on there for the right lens. I'm going to do the same thing for the left. Plus 150 minus 50 at 27. Spin this around till I get 27. Turn the power drum to, what is that, plus 150. Put the lens in, rotate it till everything comes in clear. I've got your sphere power. Check for your astigmatism, also known as the cross curve. Now we're ready to go. I'm going to put an L on here for left. Darken those dots so you can see what's going on. And I've got to put a block on here that holds it in place while it's cutting. So it's a little double-sided sticker. The black side is the sticky side against that. I'm going to peel this off showing the black side again. And I'm going to put this onto your lens. That's the right. Now the left. I'm going to do one step of precaution before I cut. Your anti-glare coating, which is a wonderful coating. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead lights, fluorescent lights, it does a little bit more, and I'll get back to that. But the other thing about it is it has a hydrophobic surface, meaning that it hates water. So it makes this a little bit slippery. So I'm putting one extra sticker on here so it doesn't slip while it's in the chuck. Hello, Chuck. Essentially, it's a big lathe. This is going to come down and trace the shape of your lens of your frame onto the lens to make sure it's large enough to cut out. And it is. It is now tracing the concave side of the lens, which is closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of your lens, which is away from the face. The actual cutting wheel is down here at the bottom on the left, the lighter color wheel. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper, which is going to grind away most of your polycarbonate material. And then this actually piece right here is going to cut the groove into the lens so the string will hold it in place. This will get loud and I'll have to close the door in a moment, but I want you to see your prescription lens as it touches the cutting wheel. And also the anti-glare coating, I'm cutting it on the soft cycle, so this will take every bit of 15 minutes because it just doesn't turn as fast without it. Now the other feature to that anti-glare, which is really nice, is it's also a reflection-free lens, meaning that if I pull another lens here, we can hold it, this one does not have it on there. You can see how the fluorescent lights reflect on this lens on the right but not on the left. So really it makes for being reflection-free, it makes for better eye contact. Someone's not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or if someone takes a picture of you with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in this lens. It's a wonderful cosmetic feature. It also has the strongest scratch coating of any lens out there. So that's the other nice thing about the anti-glare. 3 features in one. It eliminates glare, it eliminates reflections, and has the strongest scratch coating of any lens. The only thing left for you to do next time is to add the transition, which will turn dark when you go outside. This is a beautiful Polo frame, and if you can see the black rider that is in there, this is the Polo 1117, color 9038, and the 56 eye size, 17 bridge, and a 140 temporal length. Hopefully all that comes into focus. Let me take this out, put that in the tray. Now if you notice, the lens is still completely flat all the way around. It's prepping the surface now to where the groove is going to cut a slice out of it. Now this arm's going to come down, and this little blade is going to start spinning very fast. You will notice when it's cut into it, when you see the white groove in the lens. Now here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. As you might have mentioned from the name, you do get free prescription lenses when you buy the frame. This Polo frame sells for $190 because it is semi-rimless. The plastics start about $150. See if I can keep some of that water from splashing up. Let me just close the door, keep everything dry. Let me make sure the camera didn't get wet. Now, these are the unbreakable polycarbonate lens. In fact, they're bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. We all know what the sun can do to your skin from overexposure, the harmful ultraviolet rays. This is like permanent sunscreen for your eyes. You will always have sunscreen protection for your eyes whenever you are wearing these. Not only are they the unbreakable bulletproof lenses, but it's an aspheric lens, meaning that it's much flatter. You don't get that fishbowl effect that you get from the cheaper prescription lenses that you get online. They're going to start you in plastic. And if you want to upgrade to polycarbonate, which is really what needs to be cut, because this needs to be an unbreakable lens in a frame like this, they charge you more for the polycarbonate. First they charge you for your prescription in plastic, then they charge you for the polycarbonate material, and then the high-end polycarbonate is aspheric, meaning they flatten out the curve. It's not as rounded. Much better cosmetic feature. I learned years ago from selling high-end frames that it doesn't matter how beautiful your lenses are, or your frames, if your lenses are jacked up, you're just not going to wear it. So now we're going to flip over and cut the left. Same procedure as before. That's going to come down and trace the shape of your frame onto the lens. This is a routine operation. There's no way to override it. If Things would be a lot quicker if it didn't do it, but there's no way for me to unprogram what is in there. So Ashton, I hope you enjoy watching your glasses being made. You said you've never seen this before. This is what's involved. And of course, since you've seen the first start of it, what I'm going to do is close the door while that's cutting and go ahead and keep working on your right lens. I'm going to take that block off, which is no longer needed. Dry this off, and I need to put a safety bevel. You still have some rough edges going around. So I'm going to use my hand stone to smooth off the edge of your lenses. I did the back side of the lens, now the front side. And I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape away as much of this optical sawdust as I can. And then I'm going to use my scrubbing toothbrush, which has only been used to clean lenses. Let me grab that now. Actually, let me check on the one I was tinting for somebody. Need some sunglass lenses for when he's riding his Harley. I think that's dark enough. And let me grab my toothbrush and start scrubbing away the excess, the debris that has been cut off the edge of the lens. Now I need to mount the lens into your frame. So here's the $1 million trick that everyone loves to learn. You've heard the saying, you have to have the right tool for the job, and this is how I mount a lens like this. I need a little piece of ribbon for wrapping presents. What you do is you line the lens up where it goes. It has a little groove that it fits into. I take the ribbon, wrap it in half. I start at the outside corner and work my way towards the nose, and when you hear the snap, there's the snap, you are done. I put my finger on the string so I can slide this out, and now we are done. I'm going to pull the sticker off that we no longer need because of the anti-glare coating. I'm going to inspect your lens to make sure it is cut right. We need to turn the axis wheel back to 147. It is plus 75. Let me check the power. Plus 75, and the last thing I want to do is put the pupillary dots back on there. Let me check for the astigmatism. Plus 75, minus 75. Perfect. Perfect. Now we'll wait for the left lens to finish cutting, and we'll do the same thing for that. You notice it's still completely flat all the way around. And now we're going to cut the groove with this little tiny razor blade. Oop, did that splash water up on the camera lens? It got it on my lenses. Ooh, getting everything wet again. Getting everything wet. Let's see if I can dry this off a little better so you can still watch through the window. And we are done. He wants to throw some water at me still. Let's take this out of the chuck. Take this block off. Dry everything off again. Do the safety bevel. Clear away most of this debris. Use my toothbrush to get it all out of the groove. Let me wet this one more time. And put that back where it belongs. Now let's mount your left lens. Pull out the demo lens that is there. Put this in its place. And now, put that in the groove. That is mounted. I'll pull the sticker off. And now I need to inspect your left lens. Spin the axis wheel back to 27. Make sure everything lines up perfectly. I've got plus 150, minus 50 at 27. I'm going to put the dots back on there just so I can measure. And your pupillary distance should be 69. Get everything lined up right. 65, excuse me. And then we're reading 65 there, so we're good. Line everything back up. Make sure it is in standard alignment before I ship. Let me do that where you can see. Let me wipe all this off the counter. Get those red dots off of your lenses. And the last thing I'm going to do is make sure it's in standard alignment before I ship to you. It's a 3-point stance, 1, 2, and the bottom of the lenses are 3. So when I put it on the table, there is no wobble. I flip it over, push down on each side, there is no wobble. I make sure that each hinge lines up perfectly, and it does, with the same amount of torsion. Same amount of pressure on both spring hinges. How about that? Tension, tension. Here's your Ralph Lauren case, your Ralph Lauren cleaning cloth that this comes with to match the black red. Now, Ashton, if I can be any more help, or if anyone else has any questions about what prescription lenses I can put in what frame, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, and hopefully you've got a chance to see how I bring that loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.